You walk past them every day. You ignore them. You pull them out like weeds. Some of them are probably growing in the cracks of your driveway right now. And yet, for most of human history, these plants were worth more than gold. They were the difference between survival and suffering, between a fever that passed and one that didn't, between a wound that healed and one that festered. Today, we spend billions on synthetic compounds that our great-grandparents would have laughed at. Not because they were primitive, but because they understood something we forgot. That the most powerful pharmacy wasn't inside a sterile building behind a prescription counter. It was already growing, right outside their doors, in fields and gardens, in the soil they walked on every single day. Modern science is finally catching up, and so what researchers are finding is staggering. These plants are not placebos. They are not folklore. They contain compounds so potent, so precisely calibrated by thousands of years of evolutionary pressure that pharmaceutical companies are racing to isolate, patent, and replicate them. But here is the thing. You do not need a lab. You do not need a prescription. You just need to know what you are looking at. By the time we get to number 7 on this list, you will understand why one humble plant was considered more valuable than silver in medieval Europe. By number 12, you will see why another was used as frontline medicine in wars before antibiotics existed. And by the end, you will realize that the most powerful healing system ever designed was never locked behind a pharmacy counter. It was always open access, right under your feet. This is not about replacing modern medicine. This is about reclaiming knowledge that was deliberately forgotten. Knowledge that could change how you think about your health, your food, and the ground you are standing on. Let us begin. Yarrow the battlefield surgeon's secret. Most people think of yarrow as just another white wildflower cluttering the roadside. It is not. For 3,000 years, yarrow was the first plant medics reached for when blood would not stop. Ancient Greek soldiers carried it into battle. It was stuffed into open wounds on Roman battlefields. Traditional Chinese medicine called it a master herb. In Europe, it was known as soldier's woundwort and herbal militaris. The name Achilles was even tied to it in legend, because warriors knew that. When steel cut deep and blood poured fast, yarrow could mean the difference between standing and falling. Here is why that matters. Yarrow contains a compound called achilleine. This alate has been shown to promote rapid blood coagulation. It tightens capillaries, it slows hemorrhaging, and it does it fast. But that is only the beginning. Yarrow also contains flavonoids and sesquiterpene lactones, both of which have demonstrated significant anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties in peer-reviewed studies. That means it was not just stopping the bleeding. It was protecting the wound from infection and calming the inflammatory cascade that could turn a small cut into a systemic problem. Traditional European households kept yarrow tinctures and poultices on hand year-round, not as decoration, as insurance. If someone sliced their hand in the field, crushed yarrow leaves went directly onto the wound. If a child had a nosebleed that would not quit, yarrow tea was brewed immediately. If fever spiked during flu season, yarrow was steeped hot to induce sweating and break the fever naturally. Modern herbalists still use it for minor cuts, scrapes, nosebleeds, and to support the body during colds and flu. You can make a fresh poultice by crushing the leaves and applying them directly to a clean wound. You can steep the dried flowers into tea to support immune response during fever. You can infuse the plant in oil for topical use on bruises and inflammation. The ancients were not guessing, they were watching what worked, and yarrow worked. Calendula, the skin healer that refuses to quit. You have probably seen calendula before, bright orange petals, often called pot marigold. Sold in garden centers as a cheerful annual that attracts pollinators, but calling calendula just a flower is like calling fire just warm. For centuries, calendula was the go-to plant for anything involving damaged skin, burns, ulcers, infected wounds, diaper rash, eczema, surgical cuts in the days before antiseptics. In medieval Europe, every monastery garden grew it. In colonial America, it was one of the first medicinal plants settlers planted. Traditional Persian and Ayurvedic medicine systems both documented its use for wound care and inflammation. This was not folklore. This was observable, repeatable results across continents and centuries. Research has since confirmed what grandmothers already knew. Calendula contains triterpenoids, which have been shown to accelerate wound healing, by promoting collagen synthesis and increasing blood flow to damaged tissue. It also contains flavonoids like quercetin and isohamnitin, both studied for their antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects. In clinical trials, calendula extracts have demonstrated activity against Staphylococcus aureus and Candida albicans, two of the most common culprits in skin infections. But what makes calendula remarkable is how gently it works. Unlike harsh antiseptics that damage healthy tissue along with bacteria, calendula soothes while it protects. It reduces swelling. It cools heat. It promotes regeneration without causing irritation. That is why it was used on babies, on burned skin, on surgical wounds that needed to close clean. Traditionally, the flowers were infused into oils or simmered into salves. Today, you can do the same. Harvest fresh calendula petals, infuse them into olive or coconut oil over low heat for several hours, strain, and mix with beeswax to create a healing balm. You can also steep the dried petals into tea to support internal inflammations or use the infused oil directly on cuts, scrapes, rashes, or minor burns. This plant does not just decorate gardens. It repairs them, and it will do the same for your skin. Plantain. The weed that is not a weed. If you have a lawn, you have plantain. And if you have ever tried to kill it, you know how stubborn it is. Broadleaf plantain grows everywhere. Driveways, sidewalks, sports fields, cracked pavement. Most people curse it, pull it, spray it, treat it like an enemy. They have no idea what they are destroying. Plantain was called the banded plant by indigenous peoples across North America. It was one of the first medicines European settlers learned from native healers. And once they understood what it could do, they brought seeds of it with them everywhere they traveled. It spreads effectively that some tribes called it white man's footprint because it seemed to grow wherever colonists walked. But the reason it spread was not accident. It was necessity. Plantain saved lives. Here is what it does. The leaves contain mucilage, allantoin, and aucubin. Mucilage is a gel-like substance that draws out infection, toxins, and venom. Allantoin promotes cellular regeneration and has been used in modern wound care products. Aucubin has demonstrated antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects in laboratory studies. When you combine all three, you get a plant that can pull splinters, soothe insect stings, reduce swelling, stop minor bleeding, and accelerate healing in cuts and scrapes. Traditional use was immediate and direct. If you were stung by a bee, you chewed a plantain leaf and applied it to the sting. The enzymes in your saliva activated the compounds, and the mucilage drew out the venom. If you got a deep splinter, you made a poultice by mashing fresh leaves with a bit of water and taping it over the splinter overnight. By morning, the splinter was pushed to the surface. If you had a cut that would not stop weeping, plantain poultice dried it, protected it, and kept infection from taking hold. You can still do all of this. Plantain grows for free. You do not need to cultivate it. It cultivates itself. Harvest young leaves before they get tough, wash them and use them fresh for poultices. Dry them for tea to support respiratory health, gut lining integrity, and internal inflammation. Infuse them into oils or salve for external use. This is not a weed. This is a pharmacy growing in your driveway, and it has been there the whole time. Comfrey, the bone knitter, Comfrey has a reputation, and it is both deserved and misunderstood. For over 2,000 years, Comfrey was known as knit bone, broken bones, torn ligaments, deep bruises, sprains, fractures that needed to heal fast. Comfrey was the answer. Ancient Greek physicians used it. Roman soldiers carried it. Medieval bone setters applied it as poultices to fractures after setting the bone. In rural Europe and America, Comfrey salves were standard in every home medicine chest. If something structural inside the body was damaged, Comfrey was the first response. The reason is a compound called allantoin, which we already mentioned in plantain. But Comfrey contains it in far higher concentrations. Allantoin has been shown to stimulate cell proliferation and tissue regeneration. It speeds up the replacement of damaged cells. It promotes the formation of new connective tissue. And it does this so effectively that bones, tendons, and ligaments that would normally take months to heal could recover in weeks, when Comfrey poultices were applied externally and consistently. But here is where it gets complicated. Comfrey also contains pyrrolizidine alkaloids, or PAS, which in high internal doses over long periods have been shown to cause liver toxicity in animal studies. Because of this, many modern herbalists recommend Comfrey only for external use, not internal consumption. That is the responsible position, and it is worth respecting. Traditionally, comfrey was used topically. Leaves were mashed into poultices and applied directly over bruises, sprains, or clean, closed fractures after the bone was set. Roots were simmered into thick decoctions and used as soaks for injured joints. The plant was never meant to be eaten daily like a vegetable. It was used strategically, externally, and with respect. If you grow comfrey, you can still use it the way it was intended. Harvest fresh leaves, blend them with a small amount of water to create a paste, and apply to bruises, sprains, or areas of deep tissue damage. You can also infuse the leaves into oil and create a salve for joint pain, muscle strain, and connective tissue support. Just keep it external, keep it smart, and keep it effective. Comfrey earned its name. It really does, knit. Chamomile, the gentle powerhouse. Chamomile is so common that people forget how powerful it is. It has been reduced to sleepy time tea and SP aesthetics. But that is not what it was, not even close. Chamomile was used in ancient Egypt, Greece, and Rome as one of the most versatile medicinal plants in existence. It was given to soldiers to calm battlefield nerves, to mothers during childbirth to ease pain and tension, to children during teething and colic, to the elderly for digestive distress and insomnia. It was applied topically for wounds and rashes. It was inhaled as steam for respiratory infections. It was used in baths to soothe inflamed skin. This was not a niche herb. This was frontline medicine. Modern research has validated almost all of it. Chamomile contains apigenin, a flavonoid that binds to benzodiazepine receptors in the brain, producing a mild anxiolytic effect without sedation or dependency. It also contains bisabolol and chamazoline, both of which have demonstrated anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial, and antispasmodic properties. Studies have shown chamomile to be effective in reducing symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder, improving sleep quality, calming gastrointestinal spasms, and accelerating wound healing when applied topically. What makes chamomile remarkable is how safe it is. You can give it to children. You can drink it daily. You can use it on sensitive skin. It does not overstimulate. It does not create dependency. It just gently, consistently works. Traditional preparation was simple. Steep 1 to 2 teaspoons of dried flowers in hot water for 5 to 10 minutes. Drink before bed for sleep support. Drink after meals for digestive ease. Drink stress for nervous system calm. You can also make a strong infusion and use it as a compress for inflamed eyes, irritated skin, or minor wounds. You can add it to baths for full body relaxation and skin soothing. Chamomile is not weak, it is precise, and that precision is exactly why it has lasted 3,000 years. Peppermint, the digestive rescue you already own. Peppermint is everywhere: candy, toothpaste, tea bags, air fresheners. It has been so commercialized that people forgot it was ever medicine. But peppermint was not designed to flavor gum. It was designed to fix your gut. Ancient Egyptians documented peppermint use in medical papyri. Greeks and Romans used it to aid digestion after heavy meals. In medieval Europe, peppermint was a staple in monastery gardens and apothecaries. It was prescribed for nausea, cramping, bloating, indigestion, and intestinal spasms. Traditional Chinese medicine classified it as a cooling herb that moved stagnant qi in the digestive tract. Across sustenance and medical systems, the message was the same. When your gut stops working right, peppermint gets it moving again. The active compound is menthol, which has been extensively studied. Menthol relaxes the smooth muscles of the gastrointestinal tract, reducing spasms and cramping. It stimulates bile flow, which aids fat digestion. It has carminative properties, meaning it helps expel gas and reduce bloating. Clinical trials have shown peppermint oil to be effective in managing symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, reducing abdominal pain, and improving quality of life in patients with chronic digestive issues. But peppermint does not stop at digestion. It also acts as a decongestant when inhaled, opening airways and reducing sinus pressure. It has mild antimicrobial properties. It can relieve tension headaches when applied topically to the temples, and it cools inflammation both internally and externally. Traditional use was direct. Brew fresh or dried leaves into tea and drink after meals. Chew fresh leaves to settle nausea or freshen breath naturally. Crush leaves and inhale the scent to clear congestion. Infuse into oil and massage onto sore muscles or temples for headache relief. Peppermint grows aggressively. Plant it once and it will take over. That is not a problem. That is an advantage. You will never run out. and you will never need to buy another overpriced digestive aid again. This is not a garnish. This is medicine disguised as flavor. Lavender, the nervous system reset button. Lavender is another plant that has been marketed into irrelevance. It is associated with luxury candles, bath bombs, and Pinterest aesthetics. But lavender was not invented by the wellness industry. It was used by battlefield medics. During World War I, when antiseptics and anesthetics were in short supply, French military hospitals used lavender oil to disinfect wounds and calm traumatized soldiers. It was applied topically to burns. It was inhaled to ease shock and anxiety. It was one of the few cosmetics that actually worked. And it worked so well that after the war, lavender research exploded. What they found was this. Lavender contains linalool and linaloyl acetate, two compounds that have been shown to modulate the GABAergic system in the brain. GABA is the primary inhibitory neurotransmitter responsible for calming neural activity. When GABA levels are low, anxiety spikes. Lavender helps restore balance. Studies have demonstrated that inhaling lavender essential oil reduces cortisol levels, lowers heart rate, improves sleep latency, and decreases symptoms of generalized anxiety disorder. But lavender does not just calm the mind. It also calms the skin. It has antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and analgesic properties. It was traditionally used on burns, cuts, insect bites, and infections. Fresh lavender flowers were infused into oils and applied to inflamed or damaged skin. Dried flowers were sewn into pillows to promote restful sleep. Bundles were hung in homes to repel insects and purify the air. You can still use it the same way. Grow lavender in full sun and well-drained soil. Harvest flowers just as they open. Dry them for sachets, teas, and herbal pillows. Infuse fresh or dried flowers into carrier oil for topical use on minor burns, cuts, or skin irritation. Add a few drops of lavender essential oil to a diffuser before bed to support sleep quality and nervous system regulation. Lavender is not decoration. It is a reset button for a system that forgets how to rest. Time the respiratory guardian. Time is small. It smells good. Most people use it to season chicken. And they have no idea that for over 4,000 years, thyme was the plant you turned to when your lungs were failing. Ancient Egyptians used thyme in embalming because of its preservative and antimicrobial properties. Greeks burned it as incense in temples, not for ritual, but because they observed that inhaling the smoke cleared the chest and sharpened the mind. Romans did thyme-infused water before battle to boost courage and stamina. Medieval Europeans laid thyme, sprigs under pillows to prevent nightmares and respiratory infections. During the Black Plague, thyme was one of the herbs people carried in pomanders and burned in sick rooms, hoping it would protect them from airborne contagion. It actually might have helped. Thyme contains thymol and carvacrol, two phenolic compounds with potent antimicrobial, antifungal, and expectorant properties. Thymol has been shown in studies to be effective against a wide range of bacteria and fungi, including resistant strains. It is still used today as an active ingredient in antiseptic mouthwashes and vapor rubs. Carvacrol has demonstrated the ability to break up mucus and support the body's natural expulsion of phlegm from the respiratory tract. Traditional use focused on respiratory support. When someone developed a deep cough, thyme tea was brewed strong and sipped throughout the day. When congestion settled into the chest, thyme was steeped into steam inhalations. When sore throats developed, thyme-infused honey was taken by the spoonful. It was not gentle, it was effective, and it worked when lungs needed to clear and breathing needed to return. Modern herbalists still use thyme for bronchitis, chests, sinus infections, and sore throats. You can brew fresh or dried thyme into tea, adding honey and lemon for additional soothing. You can make a steam inhalation by simmering fresh thyme in a pot of water, removing it from heat, draping a towel over your head, and breathing deeply. You can infuse thyme into honey and take it by the spoonful during respiratory illness. Thyme does not just flavor food, it opens airways. And it has been doing it since before modern medicine existed. Elderberry, the immune system's best friend, elderberry has had a modern resurgence, and for once, the hype is not misplaced. But this is not new. Elderberry has been frontline immune defense for thousands of years. Hippocrates called the elder tree his medicine chest. Ancient Egyptians used it to improve complexion and heal burns. In medieval Europe, elder was considered so valuable that it was called the country people's medicine chest. Every part of the plant was used: flowers for fevers and inflammation, berries for colds and flu, bark for purging, leaves for poultices. If someone got sick, elder was the first response. And if the flu swept through a village, elderberry syrup was the between recovery and something worse. Modern science has finally explained why. Elderberries are loaded with anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that have been shown to inhibit viral replication. Multiple clinical trials have demonstrated that elderberry extract shortens the duration and severity of influenza symptoms. One study found that patients WHO took elderberry syrup recovered 4 days faster than those WHO took a placebo. Another found that elderberry reduced upper respiratory symptoms in air travelers. The compounds in elderberry do not just boost immunity generically, they specifically interfere with the ability of viruses to enter and replicate inside cells. But elderberry is not just antiviral. It is also anti-inflammatory and high in vitamin C, flavonoids, and phenolic acids. It supports the entire immune cascade, not just one pathway. Traditionally, elderberries were cooked into syrups, jams, and wines. Raw elderberries contain compounds that can cause nausea, so they were always heated. The flowers, on the other hand, were steeped fresh into tea to reduce fever and promote sweating during illness. This combination, berries for immunes, support, and flowers for fever management, made elder the complete cold and flu toolkit. You can make elderberry syrup at home. Simmer dried elderberries in water with ginger, cinnamon, and cloves for 30 minutes. Strain, cool slightly, and mix with raw honey. Take 1 tablespoon daily during cold and flu season as a preventive, or take every few hours at the first sign of illness. You can also dry the flowers and steep them into tea during fever or respiratory infection. This is not a trend. This is what people reached for when getting sick was not an option, and it still works. Garlic, the ancient antibiotic. Garlic is so ordinary that it is invisible. It sits in kitchens, it flavors sauces, it is cheap, abundant, everywhere. And that ordinariness has made people forget that. Garlic was once considered powerful enough to protect armies, cure plagues, and save lives when nothing else could. Ancient Egyptians fed garlic to laborers building the pyramids to boost strength and prevent disease. Greek athletes ate it before competitions. Roman soldiers carried it on campaigns. In medieval Europe, garlics hung over doorways during plague outbreaks. During both world wars, when antibiotics were scarce, medics used crushed garlic paste directly onto infected wounds. It was called Russian penicillin on the Eastern Front, and it worked. The reason is allicin, a sulfur compound that forms when garlic is crushed or chopped. Allicin has been shown to have broad-spectrum antimicrobial properties. It is effective against bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Studies have demonstrated that garlic extract can inhibit the growth of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, including Listerza. Other research has shown that regular garlic consumption is associated with lower blood pressure, improved cholesterol profiles, and enhanced immune function. But here is the key. Allicin is unstable. It only forms when garlic is damaged, and it begins breaking down within minutes. That means garlic pills and powders are often useless. Fresh garlic, crushed and consumed raw or lightly cooked, is where the power is. Traditional use was direct and unapologetic. Crush raw garlic, let it sit for 10 minutes to activate the allicin, then consume it with food. Eat it during cold and flu season to support immune defense. Apply crushed garlic paste to fungal infections like athlete's foot. Infuse garlic into oil for earaches. Chew raw garlic at the first sign of a sore throat. Yes, it burns. Yes, you will smell. But that burn and that smell are the compounds doing their job. Garlic is not food pretending to be medicine. It is medicine pretending to be food. And it has been saving lives longer than most drugs have existed. Stinging nettle, the mineral vault. Stinging nettle makes a terrible first impression. Brush against it and you will know immediately. The sting is sharp, burning, and unforgettable. Most people avoid it. Curse it, try to eradicate it. That is a mistake. Nettle was one of the most prized plants in traditional European and Native American medicine. It was not just used, it was cultivated, harvested with care, dried for winter, traded. In medieval Europe, nettle soup was a spruce tonic consumed to restore vitality after long winters of nutrient scarcity. In Scandinavia, nettle was beaten into textiles and eaten as a staple green. Indigenous peoples across North America used it for joint pain, allergies, and as a nutrient-dense food source. This was not a desperation plant. This was a powerhouse. Here is why. Nettle is one of the most nutrient-dense plants on the planet. It contains high levels of iron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, silica, and vitamins A, C, and K. It also contains compounds like quercetin and beta-sitosterol, which have been studied for their anti-inflammatory and antihistamine effects. Clinical research has shown that nettle extract can reduce symptoms of allergic rhinitis, support joint health in osteoarthritis, and improve markers of iron deficiency anemia. But nettle does not just supplement, it nourishes, and it does it in a bioavailable form that synthetic vitamins often fail to replicate. Traditionally, nettle was harvested in spring when the leaves were young and tender. It was blanched to neutralize the sting, then cooked like spinach, added to soup, or dried for tea. Nettle tea was consumed daily in spring to clear out winter stagnation, support kidney function, and rebuild depleted mineral stores. Nettle poultices were applied to arthritic joints to reduce inflammation and pain. You can still do all of this. Harvest young nettle tops in early spring wearing gloves. Blanch them briefly in boiling water to deactivate the sting. Use them in soup, stir-fries, or pesto. Dry the leaves and steep them into a strong infusion, drinking 1 to 2 cups daily for mineral support and allergy relief. The sting is the plant, protecting itself. But once you know how to work with it, nettle becomes one of the most generous plants in existence. Dandelion, the liver's cleaning crew. Dandelions are hated, sprayed, dug up, treated like the enemy of perfect lawns. Billions of dollars are spent every year trying to eradicate them. And yet, for most of human history, dandelion was considered so valuable that it was intentionally planted, harvested, and preserved. Every part of the dandelion is medicinal. The root, the leaves, the flowers. Each part targets a different system. The roots were traditionally used to support liver function and digestion. The leaves were used as a diuretic to support kidney health and reduce water retention. The flowers were made into wines and infusions for their antioxidant content. Nothing was wasted, because nothing could be afforded to waste. Modern research has confirmed what herbalists already knew. Dandelion root contains sesquiterpene, lactones, and taraxasterol, compounds that have been shown to stimulate bile production and support the liver's detoxification pathways. Bile is essential for fat digestion and the elimination of waste products. When bile flow is sluggish, digestion suffers and toxins accumulate. Dandelion root gets things moving again. Dandelion leaves, on the other hand, are rich in potassium, which makes them one of the few diuretics that does not deplete the body of this essential mineral. Studies have shown that dandelion leaf extract increases urine output and supports the elimination of excess fluid at the electrolyte imbalance caused by pharmaceutical diuretics. Traditional European households roasted dandelion roots and brewed them into a coffee-like beverage to support digestion and liver health. They harvested the young leaves in spring and added them to salads for their bitter, nutrient-rich properties. They made dandelion flower wine not just for enjoyment, because fermentation extracted and preserved the plant's beneficial compounds. You can do the same. Dig dandelion roots in fall when the energy has moved back down into the root. Wash, chop, and roast them at low heat until dark and fragrant. Brew them like coffee. Harvest young dandelion greens in spring before they flower. Add them to salads, soda them, or juice them. Make dandelion flower-infused honey or tincture for antioxidant support. This is not a weed. This is a volunteer pharmacist growing in your yard for free, and it is trying to help you. Rosemary. The memory protector rosemary smells like focus, like clarity, like something sharpening inside your head. That is not poetic language. That is biochemistry. For over 2,000 years, rosemary has been associated with memory. Ancient Greek students wore rosemary wreaths while studying. In medieval Europe, rosemary was woven into wedding bouquets as a symbol of fidelity and remembrance. In Elizabethan England, mourners carried rosemary at funerals, and Shakespeare wrote, "There's rosemary, that's for remembrance." But this was not just symbolism, this was observation. People noticed that rosemary did something. And modern science has finally explained what. Rosemary contains compounds like rosmarinic acid, carnosic acid, and 1,8-cineol. These compounds have been shown to cross the blood-brain barrier and exert neuroprotective effects. Carnosic acid activates pathways that protect neurons from oxidative stress. Rosmarinic acid has demonstrated anti-inflammatory effects in brain tissue. And one-glycineol, which is also found in eucalyptus, has been shown in studies to improve cognitive performance and mood. One study found that participants WHO were exposed to rosemary essential oil aroma performed significantly better on memory tasks than control groups. Another study showed that higher blood levels of 1,8-cineol correlated with improved cognitive function in elderly adults. Rosemary does not just smell good, it changes brain chemistry. But rosemary is not only for the mind. It also supports circulation, digestion, and has potent antioxidant and antimicrobial properties. It was traditionally used in Mediterranean and Middle Eastern cooking, not just for flavor, but because it preserved meat, aided fat digestion, and added medicinal value to every meal. Traditional preparation was simple. Fresh rosemary was added to roasted meats, stews, and breads. It was brewed into tea for headaches and digestive upset. It was burned as incense or infused into oils for massage to relieve muscle pain and stimulate circulation. Rosemary-infused vinegar was used as a hair rinse to promote scalp health and add shine. You can grow rosemary in a pot on a sunny windowsill. Snip fresh sprigs and add them to your cooking daily. Brew rosemary tea when you need mental clarity or digestive support. Infuse it into oil for topical use on sore muscles or as OSP treatment. Keep a sprig on your desk and crush the leaves occasionally to inhale the scent during focused work. Rosemary does not just season food, it sharpens minds, and it has been doing it longer than any pharmaceutical nootropic has existed.
Aloe vera the burn, healer that never fails.
Aloe vera is so common in stores that it is easy to forget it was once rare and treasured. Ancient Egyptians called it the plant of immortality. Cleopatra reportedly used it daily on her skin. Alexander the Great conquered an island specifically to secure aloe supplies for his wounded soldiers. In ancient China, India, and Greece, aloe was documented as a treatment for wounds, burns, digestive issues, and skin disease. But aloe is not legend, it is chemistry. The clear gel inside aloe leaves contains over 75 active compounds, including vitamins, minerals, enzymes, amino acids, polysaccharides, and salicylic acid. The polysaccharides, particularly asamanin, have been studied for their ability to stimulate immune function and accelerate wound healing. Salicylic acid has anti-inflammatory and analgesic properties. The combination creates a plant that cools inflammation, kills bacteria, promotes tissue regeneration, and relieves pain all at the same time. Clinical studies have shown that aloe vera gel significantly speeds healing in first and second-degree burns compared to standard treatments. Other research has demonstrated its effectiveness in reducing inflammation in psoriasis, healing surgical wounds, and supporting the treatment of oral ulcers. Traditionally, aloe was kept as a living plant in homes and used fresh. If someone burned their hand, an aloe leaf was cut, split open, and the gels applied directly to the burn. If someone had a rash, the gel was smoothed over the affected area. If someone had digestive distress, a small amount of the inner gel was consumed. The plant was both first aid kit and pharmacy. You can grow aloe on a windowsill with minimal care. It needs very little water and thrives on neglect. When you need it, cut a lower leaf close to the base. Slice it open lengthwise. Scoop out the clear gel. Apply it fresh to burns, cuts, rashes, sunburns, or insect bites. You can also blend the gel with water and drink it, in small amounts to soothe internal inflammation, though this should be done cautiously and not during pregnancy. Aloe does not just soothe, it heals, and it does it faster than most synthetic treatments can match. Ginger. The inflammation terminator. Ginger is not exotic. It is not rare. You can buy it at any grocery store. And that accessibility has made people underestimate what it actually is. But for over 5,000 years, ginger was considered one of the most powerful medicinal plants in existence. It was central to ancient Chinese medicine, used to expel cold, warm the interior, and harmonize the stomach. It was documented in Ayurvedic texts as a universal remedy for digestive distress, respiratory illness, and inflammation. Arab traders carried it across continents, and it became so valuable in medieval Europe that a pound of ginger was worth the same as a living sheep. During the Age of Exploration, ginger was one of the first spices European powers fought wars to control. Not for flavor, for function. Here is what ginger does. It contains gingerols and shogols, bioactive compounds with potent anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and analgesic properties. Studies have shown ginger to be as effective as ibuprofen in reducing menstrual pain. Other research has demonstrated that ginger reduces nausea more effectively than placebo in chemotherapy patients, pregnant women, and individuals with motion sickness. Clinical trials have also shown ginger to reduce markers of inflammation in osteoarthritis and improve joint mobility, but ginger does not just suppress symptoms. It addresses root causes. It improves circulation. It stimulates digestive enzyme production. It calms smooth muscle spasms in the gut. It reduces oxidative stress at the cellular level. It modulates inflammatory pathways throughout the body, and it does all of this without the side effects of synthetic anti-inflammatories. Traditional preparation was straightforward. Fresh ginger was sliced and steeped into tea for nausea, colds, and digestive upset. It was grated into hot water with honey and lemon at the first sign of a sore throat. It was cooked into broths and stews to aid digestion and add warming properties. It was juiced and mixed with other herbs for more acute conditions. You can use ginger the same way. Buy fresh ginger root. Slice a thumb-sized piece. Simmer it in water for 10 minutes. Strain and drink as tea. Add honey and lemon if desired. Grate fresh ginger into stir-fries, soups, and curries. Juice it and add it to smoothies. Take crystallized ginger or ginger capsules before travel to prevent motion sickness. Ginger is not a spice pretending to be medicine. It is medicine that happens to taste good, and it belongs at the top of this list because it has earned it, not through marketing. Through 5,000 years of observable, repeatable results across every culture that ever grew it. Here is what all of this means. These 15 plants are not alternatives. They are not secondary options. They are primary medicine that has been deliberately sidelined by an economic system that cannot patent them. You cannot own a dandelion. You cannot charge a subscription fee for yarrow. You cannot make billions off plantain growing in cracks in the pavement. And because of that, these plants have been reframed as quaint, outdated, or inferior. They are none of those things. What they are is powerful, accessible, and proven across thousands of years of human use. They were not kept alive by marketing budgets or clinical trial funding. They were kept alive because they worked, because grandmothers saw results, because soldiers survived, because farmers stayed healthy, because families made it through winters and plagues and injuries, with nothing but the plants growing around them. Modern science is now catching up, one study at a time, confirming what observation already taught. But you do not need to wait for more studies. You do not need permission from a system that profits from your dependence. You just need dirt, seeds, attention, and respect for the fact that the natural world has been refining these compounds for millions of years, longer than any laboratory has existed. So here is the challenge. Pick one plant from this list. Grow it, learn it, use it, not as a hobby, not as a trend, but as a real tool that you understand and can depend on, because the next time you need it, you will not be guessing. You will know exactly what to reach for, and you will remember that the most powerful pharmacy was never locked behind a prescription. It was as always growing, right where you are standing. If you found this valuable, drop a comment below and tell me which plant you are going to grow first. I read every single one, and if you want more forgotten knowledge that actually works, subscribe. Because the next video is going to show you something even older and even more powerful. You are not going to want to miss it.